Ryan, fundamentally, what is the difference in preparing a quarterback for a first road game versus a first game? Obviously, Julian having to go against Texas is a big start to his career, but what is different about this preparation?
Well, I think just making no assumptions when you're on the road, all the little things, and recognizing that it's going to be a challenging environment. It's just almost like going back to the beginning, going back to basics, because anytime you go on the road, just everything's a little bit more difficult. The communication's more difficult, all of those things. So it's not anything new, but at the same time, we have to, amidst the environment and the noise and the chaos, have poise and composure. And, we can't let the environment dictate how we play.
Seems like every offseason a big talking point is returning production, where teams rank returning production. If you kind of look at the top 10 and the AP poll and stuff right now, a lot of those teams were low in returning production, you guys included. Just how important does the ability, I guess, to move on with newness, I guess, or ability to adapt with newness, mean to being able to have a program that's consistently performing toward the top?
Yeah, first off, it starts with recruiting and making sure that we're prepared for the future, so that when there is turnover, which there's going to be turnover, and we have great players here who develop, that once they move on, we have to have the next guy up ready to go, and that that's the challenge for everybody in the building, to make sure each year we have that. But then it's also the job of the players to be able to step into those environments early on and be able to execute at a high level. And so that's what we need this week. We know this is going to be a great challenge, being on the road, a very good team. And for these guys, this group, it'll be our first time on a road. And so, this is the next challenge for us as a group. And so to your point, like, whatever we've done the first 3 games means absolutely nothing going into this game. We got to go on the road and get this win. And it starts, with taking care of the football. It starts with tackling. It starts with blocking, and then it goes from there. But as coaches, it's our job to make sure we're putting them in this situation to be successful, and that's important to make sure they're playing fast.
Ryan, you were pretty complimentary of Taiwan last week. What have you seen from Edric so far? What would you guys like to see? And is there any part of that injury at the start of camp that took him longer to get rolling the way you guys wanted?
Well, we're looking for consistency in everybody. It's everybody's job each day in the Woody to build trust, and every day is an opportunity to build trust. And we need consistency, and I think that's where you first look. We talked about this before. A guy can flash, which means he has the ability to do it. The question is, can he consistently do it? And that's part of maturing as a player. And it's the coach's job to make sure that we're communicating what needs to get done and the expectations. But we are looking for depth at every position, and we need as many guys that can play as possible. So he's just like everybody else on the team, searching for ways to be consistent in everything that they do. But the ability is obviously there.
Go to the left, Whitney Harding.
Ryan, you guys are facing a big-time dual-threat quarterback this week. Damon Williams coming off Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. What makes him so special? And especially going on the road, what's so hard about facing a quarterback with those kinds of talents?
Yeah, whether it's on the road or at home, a quarterback who can move with the quickness and the acceleration that he moves with is difficult. It's a challenge. And but not only that, he's very accurate with the football, makes good decisions, doesn't turn the ball over, extends plays. He's a weapon in the run game because he can equate numbers. He's been very accurate. So it's a great challenge for our defense. I think he's an excellent quarterback, and our defense is going to have to work hard this week to prepare.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about those new teams, Ryan, is you see some new venues in the Big Ten. What have you heard about Washington? If you Google top venues, it's in the top 10 of pretty much everyone's list.
Right. Expecting a great environment. And I think that's what's great about being in the Big Ten. You see now so many different styles of stadiums, different fan bases. And while I've never played at Washington, I've heard great things about it, the university, where it's located, but then, their fan base, the stadium itself, and how loud it gets. So we're expecting a great environment, and that's what's a great part about being on the road. You get to go into these environments and get a feel for what it's like, but that's why you decide to come to play in the Big Ten, is to play in stadiums and environments like this. Two great teams getting after it. But traveling to the West Coast, that's a new experience for all of us, and I think it's great. It's great for us nationally in recruiting, and obviously a great opponent.
Third row on the aisle, Dylan Davis.
Right after the game, the OU game, talked about kind of trying to find that rhythm for 3 running backs. Is it possible that, like, maybe in a position where rhythm's an important thing, that maybe there are too many pokers in the fire trying to play 3 running backs and get 3 running back carries, or is?
No, it's a good question. How do you get everybody into a rhythm of the game? Each player is different. You kind of saw last year how we did it. Some guys got hot that game, we played them, but it's a long season, so we're sort of looking at it that way, that we need all the running backs throughout the season, and however that shakes out, we'll see each week. We'll look at the game plan, we'll look at where we are, we'll look at the health of everybody, and then figure out who deserves carries. There's no question that Bo did flash last game, and so we're going to keep building on that as we move forward.
To the right, Dr. Barrett.
Coach, obviously the first road trip of the year, young kids and everything. How does the routine change? And it's going to be an earlier game out there, at least out there for them.
Yeah. So we'll leave Thursday of this week. We're going to keep everything else the same. A little bit like when we were in the playoffs, just sort of that mindset of going into a new environment, sort of getting calibrated, and then going to play from there. So we'll have our normal Tuesday here, team meeting at 2:30. Have our Tuesdays, have our Wednesday, practice Thursday a little bit earlier, get on the plane, head out there, land, go to the hotel, have our snack, go to bed, wake up, and then do our best Fridays there. So that'll be it. And we think that that's the best way to go. We spent a lot of time talking about it, Coach Mick, myself, some of the other coaches, to figure out what gives us the best chance, and so to play at our maximum level. But the good news is a bunch of our guys, in the playoffs, we went out to LA, we went out to Dallas, we went to Atlanta, and although we don't have as much time, it's similar that way, so we'll keep that same mindset.
Second row middle, Bill Landis.
Ryan, when you're playing a defense that plays as much man as Washington does and as Ryan Walters has, what's a reasonable expectation for how much they might change things up? Or if you're a man defense, you're going to play man. If you're a zone defense, you're going to play zone. Yeah,
you have to prepare for everything. They've changed some in what they've done. They've done a lot of things that they've done in the past, and they have good players. They have the right personnel to do whatever they want to do, and we'll have to prepare for everything. We know that they can do multiple things and have different ways to do it, and we have to make sure we're focused on us, and executing and making sure that we're taking care of the football, and we're doing our part, and we recognize what they're in, and then go from there. But I'm sure there'll be a mix.
Right next door, Stephen Means.
Kind of a more bigger picture thing. Back when you were deciding whether or not you wanted to take this job or not, what about you and your own kind of self-evaluation of yourself let you know you were going to be able to handle the eyes, the expectations, the magnitude of everything that came with what this job was going to be?
I don't think I knew at the time. It's like, you're never ready probably to buy your first house. You're never ready to have your first kid. I don't think you're ever ready to be a head coach for the first time, certainly at a place like Ohio State. But I had great coaches around me that I would follow to press conferences. I'd be able to sit in meetings with administrators. I'd sit in recruiting meetings. I'd watch them work, the staff. And I just always took a lot of notes to figure out when it was my turn to become a head coach, how I'd want that to look. Had a great experience in 18, just during that preseason, to kind of go through and learn a lot of things from some great coaches. Greg Schiano and Larry Johnson and Kevin Wilson. There's just a lot of good people that kind of put their arm around me at that time. And then obviously what Coach Meyer did in terms of establishing things here, and then all the coaches that I was around. So you're never quite too sure how it's going to go, and you learn every year. That's what it is. And just saying to somebody the other day, almost going on a decade of being here now, and it goes fast. But every year you learn more and more about yourself, about your staff, about your team, about what needs to be done on a daily basis, setting the expectations, and then meeting them. And that's it. You just got to have that mindset every day, a growth mindset that you got to get better, and you go from there. But it's the same thing as being a coordinator, and it was the same thing when you were a first-time position coach. You're just never quite too sure if you're ready, but you just got to go and learn and grow, and that's what this job's all about.
As a follow-up, I think sometimes coaches can get upset when it feels like you won a game, and maybe that wasn't enough, right? It's just as much about like what the win looks like, how you win, kind of an expectation of what it's supposed to look like, as it is about just winning a football game, especially when you're starting to play Big Ten games, when you're starting to play in talent equated.
Yeah, I think it's a great conversation, because I think if you start worrying too much about quote unquote style points, you can get yourself in a bad situation fast. The number one goal is to win the game, period. I mean, there's no other sport that anything matters other than winning. But college football used to have style points, and they still do have style points, and that's something that you have to be careful on. That being said, we expect a certain level of we have a certain level of execution. We want to play a certain way, and when that's met, we know it's met. When we're playing to our standard, we know what that looks like. So we hold ourselves to our standard, not our opponents. And so whether it's practice or a game, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It's about how we play, and then we grade ourselves on that, trying to identify what the issues are regardless of the opponent. And then we go from there. So, whatever the scoreboard says is one thing. What we think and where we are is another thing. The scoreboard really is important to win the game, but ultimately, we're judging ourselves based on a certain set of criteria that we judge ourselves at. And if we're grading out a champion, grading over 80%, and we're the hardest playing team in the country, then we have a chance to win every game. And that's really what it has to be. But we all know the number one goal is to win the game, period. And this game in particular is going to be an absolute battle. This is a very, very good team, really good in all three phases and well coached. So to go and get this win on the road is going to take everything we got with this team. So our guys are fired up for it, and we need to have a great week of practice.
Deep center field, Dan Hope.
Ryan, you mentioned the change to traveling Thursday this year. Obviously, you guys traveled Friday last year to Oregon. What did you guys learn from that road trip to Oregon last year? And maybe you guys needed to adjust this year.
It wasn't really anything about the trip. I thought we were ready and we were playing fast. I don't think there was anything sports science-wise that says us leaving the day before had any effect in the game. But that being said, we did a lot of, because I think it's more about, are you focused? Are you locked in? Are you sluggish? You look at all these different metrics. Didn't see any of that. But that being said, we always want to get better. And, we've done a lot of studying on this. We've talked to a lot of people in the NFL. We've talked to different other, sports and how they travel multiple time zones. And we felt like this is the best way. We also really looked at how we played in the playoffs as an indicator on this. And so, like we said, we always learn. So we're always trying to get better.
Front row, Joey Kaufman.
Ryan, you mentioned, I think on the radio last week, that you saw their quarterback in high school in the state championship game against Arizona. How is he? What do you remember about that time, and how is he kind of getting involved as a player since that time? That's made him think? Yeah,
I don't remember a whole bunch other than I remember saying he's a baller. He was playing his tail off in that game. It was a rainy day, and I like the competitiveness of him. And I didn't really remember that until just within the last couple of weeks that I was at that game and watched him play live, but impressive athlete and a really good player.
Also front row, Bill Rabinowitz.
When did you watch the Apple Cup on Saturday live?
Yeah.
What were your impressions?
A great rivalry, and a rivalry that goes back a long time, and just two programs that were fiercely competitive and getting after it. And I thought both teams played really, really hard. Was very impressed with how Washington played.
When you were watching it, were you thinking, well, this will certainly get our guys' attention, and we got to be on our A game this week?
I think this is a team that was in the national championship not long ago. I mean, this is a very proud program, and they have really good players. I think our guys understand and have understood that this is a very good program with a lot of talent at multiple positions. And going on the road in this conference is not easy to do. It's going to be a great environment. So I think that was what our guys expected. And that's what I expected watching the game. Again, really good play. But again, it's a really good challenge to figure out where we are as a program right now after 4 weeks of being in the season. So again, all focus is on this week of preparation.
Second row, Doug
What's it like for a center on the road in a loud environment, and where do you think Carson is in handling everything that goes into a game like this?
When you're inexperienced, it's a big challenge. Just like anybody, you learn and you grow. Carson's now been in it before. Luke's been in it last year. Josh Padilla's practiced in it a ton. So these are not young guys in this environment. We practice it a lot during the week. So getting everybody on the same page is something we've been preparing for. So we have to use it as a weapon. It can't be something that hinders us in any way. And I think it's easy when you're on a silent cadence to use whether you're using the clap or using some sort of indicator to start playing passive. That's not going to be the case here. We have to play very aggressive in this game. And at the end of the day, we still know what the cadence is. The defense doesn't. So it's just a matter of how you work it, your experience doing it, and your comfort level. I feel like we have some pretty good comfort in what we're doing, but we got to make sure we're on it this week and can't have false starts. I mean, that's the discipline of this, and a big part of that is the composure of making sure that each play we know exactly what the cadence is, and that we're doing our assignments.
Ryan, if you set the Texas game aside, that's just it was what it was to start the season. You guys entered the year not seeing CJ run for Ohio State, not knowing what James could do in a lead role, and not knowing what Bo could be as a freshman. How much did you guys use the 2 weeks following the Texas game to kind of evaluate them on what their strengths and weaknesses were? And do you feel like in that Ohio game you kind of started to see James pick it up a little bit?
Yeah, I do. He hasn't played a lot of football either. Travion and Quinshon took most of the reps last year, and it's hard. Practice is important for running backs, but very important. But you have to almost play with an imagination sometimes because you're not getting taken to the ground. So, getting in the game, you get a feel for all those things. And I thought he ran better in that game. But this is a much different opponent and a bigger challenge. So we got to continue to see all those guys step up in this game.
Obviously, Texas, Grambling, Ohio all gave you different levels of competition, but when you have a defense that's so new, I think sometimes there's a tendency, a defensive line is so new, there's a tendency of them to get out of passing lane, just trying to seek sacks and TFLs. How do you evaluate their ability to stay in the lanes that they need to be and stay in their gaps as you prepare for
Yeah, we just try to do the best we can on the film to coach it up and what we see and make sure they understand what their assignments are and to do their job. Regardless of the opponent, like I've said, it's about us and what we're seeing on film and projecting the issues out that are going to be there and making sure that we understand again our opponent and what they bring to the table, but then also we have to hold ourselves accountable to do our job and what we're doing in our schematics. So, like you said, we have 3 different opportunities to evaluate what went on in the game, but then we also have all the practices where we're going against really good people on the other side of the ball. So we try to use all those to identify where we're at, our strengths, our weaknesses, and then go from there.
Fourth row middle, Patrick Murphy.
Ryan, you guys obviously have talented wide receiver, talented cornerback. Washington does too, but they have size that's really noticeable at both of those positions. Yeah. How do you prepare on either side of the ball going against a guy that's maybe bigger than what you're used to seeing on a basis?
Well, you have decent size, at wide out, and then you have IGB, who's a little bit of a bigger corner, and so you just try to do the best you can to simulate that during the preseason, because when you're going to go against different styles of player. And understand what you're up against. Ultimately, it shouldn't really affect how you're playing your game, but it's good to know your opponent. It's good to understand how these guys operate. And they have a lot of length on the back end. Both corners are really, really long and leggy and can get their hands on you and cover you really well. So it'll be good for our guys, because like you said, this is, the guys at Texas, were good size as well, and we see them every day in practice. But these guys are a little bit bigger, so we have to understand that and how we're going to get open and how we're going to play the ball. And you got to play big when you're playing against bigger corners. You can't just let the ball get to your body. You got to play extended, things like that. So all things we'll be working on.
Third row on the aisle, Jeff Gilbert.
Coach, their defensive line, the challenge that is for your guys up front, in addition to the noise issue that we talked about, a couple big tackles in the middle. What's that look like for your guys up front, and does that affect running game at all?
Oh yeah, it certainly does. And they do a great job of getting everybody in one-on-one situations. Coach Walters has always done a great job of that, and so it'll be a really good challenge for everybody on the field. Everybody has to win their one-on-ones the way that the style of defense is played, and so and he knows exactly what he's trying to get done each play. So we have to make sure we're winning our one-on-ones, and that's everybody, including the offensive line.
Right in front of him, Steve Hellwack.
Yeah, Coach, the two stats that stick out, one of them, to his point, I think they lead the country in four-man pass rush rate, 50% with just the four-man rush. That's one. And on the other side of the ball, they've scored on 21 straight possessions going back 2.5 games. Just what can you do, one, to slow down the pass rush and then slow down their offense a little bit and make them punt or something?
Something, yeah. The punt reel was real fast this week. There was 2 punts. They were both pooch. So moving right along. Yeah, they have been very, very efficient on offense and really haven't made any mistakes. So, we all know what we need to do to discourage that. But yeah, they, whether it's, on first down, staying on schedule, creating explosive plays, executing in the red zone, all of those things they've done a great job of. And quarterback makes quick decisions. Running back gets downhill, and he's built low to the ground and very, very powerful. And then Boston is a real weapon on the outside. So you combine all of those things, very, 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 very talented. In terms of their rush, yeah, they come hard. They have some talented pass rushers, so who are always trying to get on an edge, and so we got to do our part on that and making sure that we're giving the quarterback time.
We'll wrap it up here in the front with Tim May.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. Ryan, you just touched on it a minute ago, but how far do you go back looking at Walters' defenses, maybe at Purdue and stuff, getting ready for a game like this, or do you have enough tape available from the first several games with these guys? Yeah,
they're a little bit different than they were in the past. They got some different players in there and playing more 4 down. So we have the 3 games we're kind of looking at. We'll always look at what happened in the past, but I think maybe even last year, he was a little bit more on the offensive side. So we look at everything, but we want to make sure we're focused on what's here and now.
And another thing, Julian, in the red zone last week, a couple of times it looked like he was a little hesitant. Maybe that's the right term. I don't even know what it was. Cautious. What have you talked to with him? What have you talked to him about the red zone and stuff and the urgency, but not being over urgent? I mean, what's it been like?
Yeah, just overall execution for everybody involved. We just missed a couple things in terms of the pass game that we got to clean up. We got to get that done. We missed a couple runs down there that I think schematically were well designed. We just didn't execute them, and that's on everybody to make sure that gets done, coaches included. And then, when it comes to the second part of the route, I thought he did a nice job of finding Max on the extension and the good pickup. But, he got tripped up on the first one there. If he can keep his feet, he's going to see Carnell in the back of the end zone on that one. So we all just need to do better. But as always, the quarterback gets all the attention. He's got to do his part down there, because that's how you evaluate quarterbacks, is, as we all talked about, 3rd down, red zone, 2 minute.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.